can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. It's good.
Yep. Cool. I'll just do a quick intro of myself. So yeah, I'm a senior engineer at a big tech company, and I've been doing interviews for a while now at my company, but I'm still kind of new to the interviewing.io platform. So if you have any feedback for me about the interview at the end as well, I'd love to hear that from you.
Sure.
Yeah, if you can give me a quick intro of yourself as well before we start.
Okay. I'm a senior engineer too. I'm a full stack. I have more than 10 years of experience. And now I'm waiting the Google on-site interview. Yeah, soon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds great. So, I guess before we get started, I also just wanted to share some interview logistics. So normally when I do interviews at my company, they're 45 minutes. So I was thinking we could also try to aim to finish this in 45 minutes, right? And then we can spend the last 15 minutes going over any feedback or questions.
Yeah, sounds great.
Cool. Okay, so I'm actually going to open the drawing window for this problem.
Drawing window, okay.
Yeah. So basically what we're going to try to do is serialize, and we're going to write two functions. So one is to serialize the binary tree.
I'm sorry. There is a lot of echo, so I cannot hard to catch your voice. So
is it better now?
Can you use the headset?
Yeah, so I actually am using a headset. I can try removing the headset.
Okay.
Let's see if that helps.
Okay, great. Yes.
Is it better?
Yeah, now it's better.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, if it's hard to understand later, you can let me know, and I can.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically what we're trying to do is serialize and deserialize a binary tree. So for our input, we have something. I'll just take a second to write out an example tree. So we just have any arbitrary tree, right? It doesn't really matter what's in it. So this is our tree. And what I want you to do, right, is write a function that, given this tree class or this tree representation, right? It comes up with. So I'll actually just write that. So we have a method called store, which takes in a node, right, and then returns some representation, right, of the tree, right, and then we have restore, which takes, this should be list of nodes, which takes this list, and then returns the tree. And I think, sorry, this is incorrect. Let me just rewrite this to be actual Python syntax.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so something like this, right? So we have two functions, one that takes in the tree representation, returns a list of, actually this should be a list of ints, and then one that takes in the list representation of the tree and then returns a tree class.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think I understood the question. So before start, I have some questions about the constraint.
Okay.
So, would you let me know what is the number of nodes in tree?
Yeah, so that's a good question. You can assume that they all fit in memory. So
in memory, okay.
Yeah.
So minimum is 0, right? To in memory. So no need to consider the size. Okay, cool. So second is, would you let me know what is the range of node value?
Yeah, that's a good question. So you can assume that they're all integers, but there could be negative values as well.
Negative value. So let me assume -2 to the 31 to the 31 minus 1.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Okay, cool. Awesome. So, okay. So, okay, let me make some example. To understand the different input, let's say we could maybe this look at the root, which is say 5. This one is the BSD, but I think the our is just the tree. So okay, and then inside we needed to serialize must be to size. So look to serialize. So and then restore to. Does this make sense? So when we do list look, we needed to convert it to the list, the integer array, and then maybe it has the value or something else. And then next is we need to restore.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So, okay. So let me confirm several approach. So, okay, there is correct. To serialize, I think we able to use the DFS.
Okay.
DFS with root left, and this is post order. So maybe we're gonna do traverse the first order, and then we put the value one by one, and then at the time we also needed to put the null value. So null. So unfortunately, integer we are able to put null value, so it is okay. So after that, maybe we could able to convert it to the list. And at this time, or I think at this time complexity is equal to n, the where n is number of nodes.
Okay.
And space, I think we also need the linear because we're gonna use the system stack of recursion. And then the worst case, if a tree screwed the left side or right side, it will be n because system stack will the same as the depth of the tree. Does this make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay, cool. So okay, now let's just think about the list tour. This time, maybe I think we also able to restore with TFS with first order. So at this time, tangle process linear and spacer. So I think that is also linear. Does this make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. So shall we make another approach, or let's dive into the code? Which one you want?
Yeah, sounds good. Can you actually maybe draw out for this tree what the list would have in it?
Sorry?
Could you maybe draw out, like, for this tree, what your list would have in it?
Let's have it. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries. I can repeat that. I was saying, can you draw for this example tree, what would the list have in it?
Okay. So do you want that converted to the list, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Sure. So first, we start here, and then, the first, we're gonna use the first order. First order is left, right, and then look. So first, we're gonna going to left one it, so it will be 1, and then 1, and then it has the left is north. So first, I think we have n and 1, and later it's going to right. So it's going to right is also n 4 and 4 and 3 and and 7 5. So that means we're gonna start here from first, and then go to right and then root, and then going up, and then right is here, and then going left and 4, and then next to 3 and then 7 5. Does this make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, cool, awesome. Shall we dive into the code?
Yep, that sounds good.
Awesome, cool. So first we're gonna make the store. That is the tree. And node. So first we need to make the node class. And value left right. So every 2 node. So as is out, right is right. Alright, then maybe we have list with some trees. So this time we need to for it to return, and then let's make the DFS. DFS is node, and then I will do post order. Do this first, and then it's not node, not. And the first is left. So so maybe we need to okay. So first the left, how we have to do left is the first node left, and then right is the first node right, and we need to return left plus right plus node value, and then I think we need to add to list because we need to return array and then immerse array. Then okay, overall I think the output is not bad. So okay, let me finish implementation, and then let me find some bug by testing, and that now is restore. And then we needed to I think we need I is index 0, connected index 0, and then we need to make some step, and then which one good for me, create it, and gonna do if index is the bigger equal than equal to length of, okay, make the end and length of 3 like this. So then I don't want, I want to reduce 6 equals, so index is n, and return, return, and return is good, is 1. Make that, we made the base case and then do. So first we needed to make the tree. So node is node, and value is oh, this is quite long. I'm gonna copy index, and then at second we need to increase index, and then node left is create, then node right is it, and then finally return it. Curl index to use global value at here. So okay, that looks good. So okay, need test to quote. So do first node, and then this one, test this one, and then let me read it. This type is and it is okay, and then okay. Let's do store output. First we add output. Now we are here. Then we're gonna do DFS. So first we need to do DFS 3. And maybe now we are here. And 5. 5 is the node. So it's okay. Now it's going to left. And then left is here. Now we are 3. So in this case, just pass. Okay, so you're going to left. So left is here. Not on. So it return none. So now the left return none. So so we needed to put left to right, and then output and node value. So and okay, let's think.
Can you explain why you made this change?
Yeah, the reason is we. Oh, okay, I see. I think. Okay, wait a minute, please. We not needed to do that, so just do that directly, and then maybe we no need to output, right? So okay, let me without output. So left to right. So in this case, now left is none, and right is plus none. And plus node value. Return, and then it is what the value is now left right, not value is the 3, and this one is combined, and I return to the left is 5, so if you add right things is going to 1, 1, 7, and then it combines 5. So finally, it will be 3 and 7, 5. This makes sense. This return. So now first, so 3 here, and then going to n is known, so left is the known, and then right is the known, and then we the combine left known dot value 3. So this is 3, and then now we're going to root, and then next is right side. So right side is the same as n and 7, and the final is 5. Okay, does this make sense? Okay, cool.
Okay, so sorry, you just walked through the first test case, right? 5, 3, 7?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that sounds good.
And then now we're going to restore from this one. So let's say build. First is none. So if this is none, build none. Interesting. So now, okay, restore in restore. So first index in this case here, this is index. So but we cannot do null is the root. So so I think the first order is not good because when you build the tree, we need to do the free order. I think because we needed to make the root first, right? So I think we needed to change the first order to free order.
Okay.
Did this make sense? Okay,
yep,
cool.
That makes sense.
Okay, this time we needed to the output. Actually, I don't want to use output, but we have no choice.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then, and then left is this node left, and right is this node left. So, we needed to change some structure very quickly. In this case, let me check. So it return now we return output. First is 5, and then go to the left. Left is 3, and then go to the left. Left is n, none. None, how we able to check? Now none is the return none. If we return, we do not have to receive anything. So if not just return, then is it okay? I don't think so. How we able to time? Okay. If not none, need to do and none. So then we able to go to the oops. And I fixed some problem. Okay. N and then right is N, and next is the right side. 7 and N. Okay. So now we're gonna return up. Does this make sense? Okay, so now I'm gonna receive this one and build index, serialize, build non-index. So first we 5. Okay, 5 is good for root. So in build station and then to we're gonna finally we need to return node. And then first we have 5 here, and then increase index 3 is node left, and then going to node left is to build again. And then now we are here, we make another one. And going left is none, and then return. And then now is the right side. Right side is also n, and then next is right side 7, and same process. It has n and n. Okay. Hello?
I'm still here.
Hello? Okay. Yeah, I think
so this looks good.
it works. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did want to ask you, why did you decide to switch from pre-order to, from in-order to pre-order?
The reason is, so when we restore, as we discussed, I would like to use the DFS. And then this one is to build the DFS, I think that we need to make the tree node, the root node first. And then to get root node first, we have no choice to use the pre-order. Because, you know, the pre-order is root and left and right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, or maybe we have two choice, pre-order and post-order. In this case, I think the in-order is maybe we cannot use this one. Because if we use in-order, some of the data structure will be confused. So we needed to use pre and post order. So at the time I thought, okay, let me choose post order. Yeah, so, but that decision is not good. And then I changed it to pre order. Does this make sense? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
so sorry, I meant to say post order actually. I think that's what you're right, that's what you did before, right? So I guess the question is maybe why did you decide to switch from post order to pre order?
Yeah, that is the, I'm gonna make the root node first to make the build. Yeah, this one is, I think that this one is the, to the stage 4, that means that I would like to make the clean code easy to read over. Yeah, that is reason. But post order is a little bit complex, you know?
Yeah.
Because we need to find the, root node first. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that makes sense.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, this looks great. So normally this question does take 45 minutes, but I think you finished it faster than I normally see people finish it. So that's great.
Yeah. And can you give me another question?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
So next question is basically we have a list of integers, so I'll just write out some lists. Okay. Yeah, so we have a list of integers and we have some target value. So let's say the target value here is, what do I want to do? Maybe 5. And then given these two inputs, we want to return true if there's any continuous sequence that adds up to this target value. So in this case, 4 plus minus 4 plus 5, right, adds up to 5. So we would return true. I can give you another example, maybe a counter example.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, so another example here might be 6, right? So 1 plus 5 adds up to 6, but they're not next to each other. So this would actually be false. And I don't think there's any other continuous sequence in here that adds up to 6, but it could be wrong. I'd have to check, but yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome. So, okay, thank you for the question. And then I have some questions. Okay, let's say if the k is minus 4, k is minus 4. In this case, can I return the true because the item is 1 in 1?
Yes. Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, so you can return true even if it's only one element.
So yeah, length of substring does not matter, right? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. So okay, I have a question. What is the length of nums? Range of nums?
So you can assume it's just like any integer, basically.
Okay, cool. So let me.
Oh, you're asking about the length of the array. So the length of the array can fit in memory.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So okay, to the 31 minus 1, and then must be 0, right? Okay, cool. So and then okay, second is what is the item of the range of item array, either so integer. I assume it is also integer, right?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Okay, would you let me know what is the range of the item of the nums? Okay, let's say this is nums.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so nums can be any integer, like negative or positive.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So yeah, this is 32-bit integer, is fine.
That's right. So, okay. Thank you for the example. Okay. Weird. Alright, so let me make some approach. Okay, let me start with the proposed solution. I'm gonna use the truth. That means that's it for I, for J, the same notes, and then I'm gonna check from this I, and then this is J, and then I'm gonna calculate the prefix sum, and then if the sum of the sum is the same as K, I'm gonna return true, otherwise I'm gonna return false. Does this make sense? At this time, and complexity is n squared because we're gonna use true, but space is good because we do not use any data structure.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Then okay, let's make it better. Which one is good? I'm not sure. Maybe we can consider map. If maybe we are so considered, not sure. Maybe to pointer. Maybe we have to consider it. Okay, and then which one is good? I think heap is not make sense, and let's pass the heap. And maybe it's the hash table, you know.
Okay.
Okay, so I think okay. I think that this one is not bad map. So shall we start with the map, the hash table approach first?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, cool, awesome. So use this example. So now we have the map, and we are here. So my target time complexity is I'm gonna make the linear and linear. I'm not sure. I have no. Yeah, But that is my goal, but not sure.
That's okay.
because now I have no idea yet. So okay, let me think. Okay, so first we must start from here, and then 2 is so maybe norms is that this one does not have negative. Maybe we can easy to solve it, but negative is a little bit tricky part because we needed to take care of the negative. So I'll be able to do that. So okay, let's use the column prefix sum. 0, that is column sum. And now column sum is 2, and now 3, and okay, let's say K is 5. Oh, K is 5 is very good. Okay, cool. So in this type, 2, 1, 4, and then 4. Maybe we need to find it. So let's say we just put range. So I think we need to use index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 times is the 2. Okay, let me put M 3 is 7. Yeah. Because the 7 is 7 minus 2 is 5. And then is okay, let me change the one. This is value and index 3, 1, 7, 2, and then when you put sum is the 7, is the 7 minus, if we find the 2 here, map, and then maybe it can make 2 is the 5. So maybe we could use this one, but I'm worried that can we use the negative one? So in this time, so okay, let's say we're looking for I'm gonna use 1 minus 1 and 4 minus 5, that is 9. Okay, let's say we're looking for 8. So we need to use these 3 things. 8. Okay, let me keep going. So 0, 3, 1, 7, 2, 5, and then 3, 11, 4. Second is okay. Can you give me some hint? Actually, I have no idea.
Yeah, sure. No, I think you're on the right track actually with this math. So let's see how to think about this problem. So we're looking for the sum 8 here, right? Which what are the numbers add up to 8? 5 and 3, right? Is there anything else? I'm just thinking. I don't think so, right? Yeah, just 5 and 3.
Yeah, this one is 8, and then this one is 8, right? 9 minus 1 and 5. It doesn't 8. It has the 2, 8. Yeah,
oh, sorry. Yeah, 3 plus 5 is 8. So yeah. So actually, this would we would find this one before we find 5 plus 3. But yeah, both of them work.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So actually, let's think about this. I don't know if I would call this a simpler example, but it might help you see the solution. So, so let's say we had, 2, 1, k equals, let's say 7, right? So that one is straightforward because the sum is just 2 plus 1 plus 4 at the beginning of the array, we get to 7.
Yeah.
Then if we had k equals 5, right? How would we get to 5?
5 is, I think that is that we can get here, 1 plus 4.
Yeah, exactly. And then what do we need to do with like 2 in order to get to 5?
So I'm gonna try to use current sum. So current sum is here is the 7. So I'm gonna looking for the 2 x. So I'm gonna find the map x. If x in map, I'm gonna return true.
So what is x in this case?
Okay, x is the x means okay, x is on some minus x is k, so current sum minus k, that is x.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm gonna find sum minus k in math. I'm gonna return true.
Exactly.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
Actually, you can implement this one. Wow, awesome. Okay. Should we dive into the code?
Yes, sounds good.
Oh, okay, let's finish it. What is good for name? Okay. Okay. Is okay. Oh, it's hard to make the name. Right. Which one is good? Find true. Okay. Is sum 2 is 2 items. Sum is sum k. Nums and k. Okay, so first we have this one. That's k is 5. Then we need math. So we have math. Then nums. I think the index. Do we need index? Yes. We need index. I think the index is no need. Wait a minute. Index no need index. Then we may be able to change it to the set. Okay, to reduce. Okay, then if suddenly we need some just throw this some comment for another continue to m, and if to do some minus k in minus group and in that is Let me run through with the example. So we know, and then this is n, and then we have from is 0, then now is 2. So sin have 2, and this is 3, and 3, and 4, and this 4, and we're looking for 5. 5. 1, 4, 5. This is okay. 2, 3. This is 7, and then we're looking for 2 is here. Yes. So we're gonna return true. But okay, let me make some. Okay. See. And so in this case, result is 7. Thing is, thing is 1 and 3. So like this is 1, 3, 7. So we're looking for 2 to not have. Okay, that makes sense. So now you're going to go. This is 7 here. 3, 3, and 3 we already have. So now this is 8. So looking for 3, and 3 is here. So okay. But I'm not sure. But I think that there are some corner case. So let me find this corner case. Something is that's not clear. This is empty. This you cannot use this up, so that is first. Yeah, that makes sense. And then I want to make some minus here. And then sorry, I think the time is up. Okay, so
yeah, that's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
let me check this part because we have time limit, so we had to take care all of corner case, but let me check this one. So this one means sum means 1. So 1 and 1 to minus 2. This is minus 1 and minus 1. And now this is 3. So we need to find 3. So okay. So then 4, so you need to find it. This is 5. So 5, 5. And of 3 more 6. This is 1. And then this is 4 and 4 and now 4, right? So this is 4, this is 8. So in this case, we cannot find this one, right?
So C is.
Okay, let me do it again for you. First 5 and then C 5, and then now correct sum is 4. So we're going 4.
Okay.
And then now it's 8. And then this is 8.
Okay.
This time -1 is 4 is 3. We must find the return is true, right?
So 8 minus 5 should get you to 3, right?
Yeah, so column sum minus K, 3. Yeah, that's right. Cool. Yeah, I think that, yeah.
Yeah. So I do think you, what if K was equal to 5?
Okay, in this case, yeah, that is very good point. So we need to put 0 here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
So I think that was the corner case you were missing. Yeah, otherwise it looks good.
Yeah, that is what I'm looking for, but I couldn't.
That's okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, great. Yeah, I can go over the feedback I had quickly if that's helpful for you.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, so overall I was pretty impressed actually with how you did. Like the first problem you solved really quickly. Normally that takes up like the full 45 minutes, but you solved it pretty fast. And then the second problem as well, like you solved it, even though like you hadn't seen this before, right? And it's kind of a tricky problem. And I think the only thing that you missed was like this corner case, right? And like needing a hint, but that's okay. I think like even with the hint, like you didn't need that much help from me. Like once I kind of showed you an example, you figured it out. So that was good. Let me see what other feedback I had, just high level. One thing I really liked actually is how you wrote out the like constraints, the examples, input, output, like approach. Like it just kept everything very organized. I really liked that. And the test cases, like, so that was really good. Definitely keep doing that. Yeah. One thing I would suggest is that I think here when you finish store and restore, you kind of started diving into writing test cases. So it's good to write test cases for sure, but maybe like once you're done writing the code, just like kind of give your interviewer a heads up that, hey, I'm done right now, I'm going to test it. And then they might ask you to explain like, like how the implementation works. I guess you already explained what you were doing right at the beginning, but.
So you mean is it is good to test with the compiler, right?
Not necessarily with the compiler. So I'm not sure which company you're interviewing. Like, I think you said you're interviewing at Google, right? So I'm not sure if Google allows you to execute the code. So my company actually doesn't. So the execution is disabled. But I'm not sure if Google does. That might be something actually.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Google also does not. Yeah.
They'll let you execute. Okay, yeah. So. Okay, yeah. So no need to execute, but I think just before moving on to writing out test cases, right, just kind of alert your interviewer, right, that, hey, I'm done with implementing, right, and now I'm going to write test cases, just so they know, like, what's happening, right, because otherwise, like, the interviewer might get distracted, right, like, while you're finishing the implementation and then not realize that you're moving on to test cases. But that's okay.
I have a question, because I'm not familiar with the test cases, so could you a little bit explain what is the test cases? That is the looking for the corner cases, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So,
okay, cool.
Right, test cases, I mean what you were doing up here, right? So you wrote out test 1 and then the corner cases. So that's definitely good. Keep doing that. But before you start writing out test cases, just tell your interviewer that I'm finished with the solution, right? Now I'm going to write test cases.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Just so they know, right, to pay attention and to like, because sometimes like when interviewers are writing you watch code, right, they'll kind of like get distracted and like wait for you to finish writing the code, right? So that way, like when you're done, they can talk to you about it.
Yeah, that's right.
So just good to tell them that you're done with the code and now you're going to test it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, but that's a minor thing. Oh, and then the other thing on this problem was that I think I had written that the input is a list of int when it's actually like list optional int. So that was something I forgot to, I guess, fix up here. But you still return none values anyway, which is totally fine. But I think in this case, maybe just like ask your interviewer, is it okay if I actually return like null values, right? Because maybe they don't allow you to return null values and they want you to use some other representation for null.
Okay, I have a question. So you mean is the integer list? I think that we are using the Python, right?
Yeah, so I think the return types that have actually been list optional because we also returned none values, right?
Yeah, so none are so acceptable, right?
Yeah, so none.
I think that this one is, I'm not sure because I think this one is the acceptable, right? Even that this one is the list int.
I think the type checker might complain because none.
Really? I see.
Yeah, because so I think the type should have actually been this, but that was my fault because I wrote it incorrectly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but that's just my mistake.
Actually, I never use Python for the developing because I just use the Python for the lit code. So actually, I have no information about this kind of thing. Yeah, so that is the reason why I asking you. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Got it. Yeah,
okay, cool.
That's okay. Yeah. So that's that. The only minor thing there. Yeah, and then I again on this problem too, I really liked how you wrote the test cases and corner cases and just like the organization. That was really good.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. That's pretty much all the feedback I had actually.
Okay, good. Oh, I think that is really great feedback. And okay, then let me give you my feedback to you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because you request me. And, okay, so before that, the English is my second language, and my English is improving. So if you're hard to understand something, please let me know. Okay. Okay. So overall, you really did a great job. So your style is the quite how can I say the real interview style. Actually, the real interview at the FANG, they did not just copy and paste. They tried to drawing something, writing something, right? So that is really cool. And second is that when I do something, you try to give me some the direct feedback, such as, wow, you asked this question, 9-7, that is really great. Those kinds of things, I really easy to follow your how can I say, your direction. That is also really great. So
thank you for the feedback.
And then so second is you checked my code very detailedly. So that is really great. Yeah. So I think.
Sorry, can you repeat the last point? I didn't hear it.
Okay. Last is you checked my code very detailedly. So because this kind of the thing is very hard to very easy to miss it if you did not concentrate me. So that means you really try to concentrate me for interviewee. So those kind of things is really great to me because I easy to feeling that was this lady that tried to help me. So that feeling is really great to me. So I really appreciate it. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Cool. It was really nice to meet you, and I wish you all the best for your Google interview.
And then, if you don't mind, I would like to share my YouTube channel.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, the 9148. Come and this is my YouTube channel.
Oh, great. I'll definitely take a look at it and subscribe.
Yeah, please visit if you have some time. And if you don't mind, I would like to connect you. So,
yeah, absolutely. I'll share my contact information afterwards.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm not sure that you are also preparing some interview. Okay. May I ask you are you preparing or are you on interview processing now?
So I'm actually not preparing for an interview right now, but I've been considering it. So I was just, and I also have interviewed a lot of people at my company, but not outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw this platform. Basically, I was thinking about just practicing my interview skills, even though I'm not like directly interviewing anywhere right now.
Then may I ask you why you trying to exercise the interviewing?
Why I'm interviewing other people?
Mm.
Yeah, so I think there's I think for every 2 interviews you do, right, you get 1 free interview. So I think for me, it's a good way to get more mock interviews for myself. But I also learn a lot by interviewing other people, right? So, for example, I really liked how, you wrote out your examples and the approaches, right? So sometimes when I interview other people, I also get ideas for how I should interview myself.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, okay, please go on.
I was going to say, if you haven't tried interviewing other people before, you definitely should, because I definitely learn a lot from interviewing people as well.
Yeah. Actually, I interviewing another people from around 1.5 years before, and I do interview more than 400 people.
Oh, wow.
And during interview, one of the great things is that I make the really good relation with another interviewee.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so many of them already got job offer from the FANG. So one of the crazy things, when I do the Google interview, I able to pass on screen. The reason is 7 of Googler referred me. They gave me the referral, and then all of them is the Margot interview friend. Have interview
awesome.
So yeah, so if you want to try to learn to study, and then I would like to recommend you please study with the awesome people, because you easy to find in interviewing.io. So some of people is very extraordinary ability. So if you want to do the mock interview with them, your ability also same level with them. So that is really cool.
Yeah, thank you for the advice. Actually, that's really helpful.
Yeah. So if you want the mock interview with me, please let me know. So after got the job offer from Google, I would like to continue the mock interview to increase my ability. So yeah, if you're interested, please let me know.
Yeah, thank you so much for the offer, and I'll definitely take you up on that.
Okay, great, awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Wow, it was nice, really nice meeting you. Yeah.
Yeah, really nice meeting you as well. Take care.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.